Potential Red Raiders took over the music building today with a chance to find out if Texas Tech was the right place for them. Coming up, we'll have a look at Visit Day at the School of Music.
One of the Hub City's largest fundraisers took over the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center this weekend, serving up a popular breakfast throughout the day. Find out how thousands of local residents could donate money and enjoy food and fun and feel good doing it.
And Texas Tech Athletics had a few breaks in the schedule this weekend with more than 5 teams competing for the red and black all around the country. MCTV's Joshua Ermis has a look at the biggest Red Raider and Lady Raider headlines in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Chloe Greene.
And I'm Renteria. The midpoint of the spring semester is still a couple weeks away, but many colleges and departments are already thinking ahead to the next school year.
A variety of recruiting events take place throughout the spring semester, including one held earlier today for potential students to get in tune with their academic future. Starting this morning, the School of Music hosted the spring edition of Visit Day in the Music Building and the Sub. Students interested in finding out about the various music programs here at Texas Tech could enjoy a breakfast, Q&A sessions, and a resource fair, and even attend classes. Visitors could focus on their musical specialty and learn about how they could be a part of groups such as choir, ensembles, and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. Visit Day wrapped up late this afternoon with guests allowed to sit in on open studio classes as well as rehearsals. The School of Music hosts a Visit Day every fall and spring semester, with the next one scheduled to take place later this year.
Students looking for ways to take a break from coursework has several options in the Lubbock area over the weekend, including one of the biggest local fundraisers of the year. On Saturday, the Lubbock Lions Club held the 72nd Annual Pancake Festival at the Civic Center. Thousands of people came out to enjoy a short stack for a good cause, with all of the funds raised put back into the local community. The annual fundraiser used more than 6,000 pounds of pancake mix, 41,000 ounces of pancake syrup, 80,000 sausage links, and 23,000 slices of bacon to feed a continuous line of customers. But even with that many ingredients, this year's Pancake Festival was still smaller than past events.
Our goal is to serve anywhere from probably 10 to 14,000 people today. We used to be the world record holder. We had the Guinness World Record for serving 66,000 pancakes in one day. Luckily, we're not going to have that many people here today because the experience is much better where it's manageable at 10 to 14,000.
Along with the pancakes, each year's festival also includes live entertainment, music, and cotton candy and popcorn. Local celebrities also step in each year to help flip and serve the thousands of pancakes cooked during the event. The Lions Club Pancake Festival is held each year during the month of February.
If pancakes weren't on the menu for you this weekend, another local group used a different food theme to promote an event showcasing one of Lubbock's most unique sports organizations. Love You to Pizzas was the theme of a double-header for the West Texas Roller Derby on Saturday night. The Derby was held at the Prima Vista Event Center, inviting fans to come cheer on their favorite team in 2 different matches. Match 1 featured the Pepperoni Posse versus the Cheesy Chompers, and in the second game of the night, the Saucy Squad took on the Crust Crusaders. Both matchups featured local competitors who put on skates and took to the rink to battle their way to victory. During halftime, students from Lubbock's School of Rock performed for the crowd, and the band Strawberry Season headlined an after-party after the games wrapped up Saturday night. Saturday's competition was open to the public with tickets going for $20 at the door and kids 10 and under free with admission. The West Texas Roller Derby's next matchup is scheduled for March 30th at the Premier Sportsplex in South Lubbock. In the meantime, you can check out the Derby's social media pages for more info.
A cold front moved through the Lubbock area over the weekend, dropping temperatures by as much as 30 degrees between Thursday and Saturday.
Temperatures warmed up slightly yesterday, but an even bigger jump is on the way for this week. Weather specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us in studio with what we can expect for the last full week of February in today's MCTV forecast. Elisabeth?
Thanks, Chloe. Taking a look out at our MCTV Tower Cam, it is a gorgeous, sunny, clear day this afternoon here at Texas Tech University. We did have quite a cold front this weekend, Saturday being in the mid-40s, Sunday also being in the mid-50s. However, today we are going to be in the upper 60s and mid-70s across the South Plains, and it looks like we are only going to get warmer as we continue on into the week. Today in the South Plains, once again, mid-70s, upper 60s, Snyder 64, Demet 68, up in Turkey 72, Matador also sitting at 72, Morton also at 72. Definitely a mild day for the South Plains. And as we move on into Wednesday, we could potentially see some record-breaking temperatures in some of the South Plains area. Our last record was recorded in 2016 with a high of 85. Most of the South Plains will be seeing 80s or upper 70s as we move on into Wednesday. Tonight here in the South Plains, no freezing temperatures, definitely some chilly ones, but we won't see any freezing weather for the rest of this week. Snyder 42, up in Turkey 37, Silverton also sitting at 37, Morton 41 degrees. Tomorrow in the South Plains, we are warming up once again. Snyder 82, Turkey 79, Demet 76, Morton 78. Definitely a warm day for this time in February and definitely above average for what we're used to seeing this time of year. Here locally in the South Plains, low of 39 tonight. Tomorrow, high of 80 degrees. So as you head out the door, you might need a light jacket, but as we move on to the afternoon, it might be shorts weather. As we look on into the rest of the week, Thursday, we are going to cool down just a little bit. We're going to have a cool front move in Thursday morning. That puts our high at 68 degrees. Definitely still a little bit warm, but cooler than what we'll see today and Wednesday. As we look on into Friday, we are going to stay in the 60s with a high of 66 and no freezing temperatures, lows in the 40s and upper 30s. As we move on into Saturday, we are going to warm up with a high of 70. Sunday, high of 77, almost 80 degrees. Monday marks the beginning of the last week of February. We have a high of 76 degrees with partly cloudy skies and a breeze out there for the last week of February. I'm Elizabeth, and Haley and Chloe, it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Texas Tech Athletics has reached the peak of the spring sports schedule, with no less than 5 teams competing each weekend between now and the end of March.
MCTV's Joshua Ermis joins us in studio with a rundown of the biggest headlines from the most recent packed weekend for Texas Tech Athletics. Joshua?
Thank you, Chloe and Haley. Texas Tech sports had a very eventful weekend on the court and the diamond. Let's start this loaded recap on the court in Ames, Iowa. Texas Tech men's basketball traveled to Iowa on Saturday to face top 10 ranked Iowa State, looking to sweep the season series. Unfortunately for Tech, the Cyclones came in playing their best ball, taking advantage of the Red Raiders, who were without starting center Warren Washington. Pop Isaac's cold streak continued, going 2 for 11 on the night, scoring 8 points. Guard Joe Toussaint led Tech with 16 points, but couldn't carry the Red Raiders to victory. Despite showing life late in the second half, Tech would fall to Iowa State 82-74, splitting the season series at 1-1. After the loss, Texas Tech currently stands at 18-7 overall and 7-5 in conference play. They host TCU tomorrow in the United Supermarkets Arena here in Lubbock. That game will have an 8 p.m. tip-off. Texas Tech women's basketball traveled to Waco on Sunday for a conference matchup against Baylor. The Bears dominated the Lady Raiders, holding them to single digits in 3 of 4 quarters. Bailey Maupin led Texas Tech with 9 points in the loss. The Lady Raiders had only scored 18 points heading into the fourth quarter, where they would rattle off a final 14 points, taking the final score to 61-32 in favor of Baylor. Texas Tech will give it another go this Wednesday against the Texas Longhorns. Texas Tech's record heading into Wednesday stands at 16-11 overall and 5-9 in Big 12 play. Their game against the Longhorns will have a 3 p.m. tip-off. The good news on the court came during the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities. Texas Tech Red Raider Mac McClung returned to the NBA dunk contest on Saturday night, looking to repeat as champion, and that he did. McClung once again dominated the competition, hitting a number of winning dunks, including one where he leapt over NBA Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal. McClung became the first player since Zach LaVine in 2015 and 16 to repeat as champion. McClung currently resides in the G League with the Osceola Magic. Finally, Texas Tech had a great weekend on the diamond with both baseball and softball leaving their respective showdowns with winning records. Tech baseball played 3 games over the weekend against top competition in Tennessee, Oregon, and Nebraska in the Shriners Children's College Showdown in Arlington. Tech scored 19 runs on the weekend. They dropped their first bout to Tennessee on Friday. Tech trailed 3-2 heading into the 6th inning, but a 3-run 8th by the Volunteers sealed the deal at 6-2. They then followed it up with a 6-3 win over Nebraska, highlighted by a big 3-run 9th inning rally. Tech closed out their weekend in exciting fashion by beating the Oregon Ducks 11-7. Reliever Max Huffling threw 7 strikeouts in his Red Raider debut. 2-1 Tech baseball will remain in Arlington for 2 more games, first against UT Arlington at 6 p.m. tomorrow and Oregon State on Wednesday at noon. Texas Tech softball went 4-1 in the Texas State tournament. They kicked off their weekend defeating Sam Houston 4-2 on Friday. They followed it up with 2 games on Saturday against Tulsa and Texas State, winning those games with a combined score of 7-3, highlighted by exceptional pitching from Maddie Wright and Maddie Keel. The Red Raiders went into their final matchup of the tournament 4-0 after a 10-9 win Sunday morning against Northern Colorado. They faced again Texas State, where Alana Barraza scored the only Tech run of the game with a solo homer in the 2nd inning of the 1-8 loss to Texas State. 8-4 Tech's softball will play in yet another tournament with 2 games Friday in the North Texas tournament in Denton. The first of the 2 being against Stephen F. Austin at 9 a.m. and then against Minnesota at 2 p.m. That's all for Texas Tech sports. Now back to Haley and Chloe.
Thanks, Joshua. So Chloe, did you have a chance to watch any of the Texas Tech teams in action over the weekend?
I didn't, but I'll definitely be at tomorrow's game against TCU.
I'll see you there. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.